Hello learners, and welcome to today's learning session. We are going to begin on a new unit, which is length, perimeter and area. Length, perimeter and area. Our new unit today is length, perimeter and area. Length, perimeter and area. So candidates or learners, I hope you are ready. You need to have your pens, you need to have a book, exercise book, and your pupils book. So these are three things, learners: length, perimeter and area. So we will begin by learning more about length. Let's start with length. Then we will move on to perimeter and area. So length, you will recall, this is not the first time we are learning about length. We started learning about length in our previous lessons. Standard 7, Standard 6 we covered length, Standard 5 and Standard 4. So length is a measure of distance between 2 points. So you can write down length is a measure of distance. Length is a measure of distance between ends, between two ends of something. Is a measure of distance between two ends of something. It can be something like this pen. If you measure the distance between this end and this end, that is what we are referring to as length. It can be the distance between the end of this line here and up to this point. The distance, that is the distance between these two ends or these 2 points, is what we are referring to as the length. It can be the length of a ruler. Okay, the distance between this end and the other end is what we are referring to as the length. It can be this duster here. The distance between this point and this point is what we call length. So length is a measure of distance between two ends of something. Another point I want you to note down is that length is measured in meters. Length is measured in meters. There are other measures. We can say the other measures such as millimeters, centimeters, decimeters, hectometers, all right, decameters, kilometers. These other measures are simply conversions, are conversions are conversions that can be obtained by multiplying meters by a factor. There could be other measures like the millimeters, the centimeters, the hectometers, the decimeters, the decameters. These other measures are just conversions of meters, and we can do that conversion by multiplying them by a certain factor. Multiplying meters by a certain factor. When you multiply meters by a certain factor, then you'll be converting meters into either the millimeters, the centimeters, the decimeters, the hectometers, the decameters, and the kilometers. So the measure, I repeat, of length is in meters. We measure length in meters, but the measure or this length can also be measured in, I've said, millimeters, centimeters, decimeters, hectometers, decameters, and kilometers. These are other measures of length. Now, learners, I want to show you the relationship between these measures and the meter. Meter. So, first here we have the millimeters, then we have the centimeters, then we have the decimeters, then we have the meters, the decameters, the hectometers, and kilometers. I want to show you the relationship between these measures. Let me have this in blue. Let me have this in blue. My blue, right? Blue and blue. All right. Then I can have some arrows, an arrow here, another arrow there, arrow, a red arrow. So then let me have the conversion here. It's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So this is a diagram showing the relationship. This diagram is showing the relationship between measures of length. Learners, this is a diagram that is going to help us understand the relationship between the units of length. The units of length, that is the millimeters, centimeters, decimeters, meters, decameters, hectometers, and kilometers. Now from this diagram, we can learn that 10 millimeters make 1 centimeter. 10 centimeters make 1 decimeter. 10 meters is equal to 1 decimeter. Decameter is equal to 1 decameter. All right? The difference between these decimeter and decameter is that the first one is a decimeter and the D is a small letter. The second one is decameter. The D is in capital letter, is a capital letter. So 10 meters is equal to 1 decameter. And 10 decameters is equal to 1 hectometer. 10 hectometers make 1 kilometer. Make 1 kilometer. So the measures or the units of length keep on increasing as we move to the right, meaning that 1 kilometer is greater than 1 hectometer, and 1 hectometer is greater than 1 decameter. 1 decameter is greater than 1 meter, and 1 meter is greater than 1 decimeter, and so on. So the units to the right are larger units or measures of length. The smallest one here is a millimeter. Millimeter. The smallest unit of length from this diagram is millimeter. We have learned so far that 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. 10 centimeters is equal to 1 decimeter. All right, 10 centimeters is equal to 1 decimeter, and 10 decimeters is equal to 1 meter. We have also seen that 10 meters make 1 decameter. Then 10 decameters make 1 hectometer, and 10 hectometers make 1 kilometer. Make 1 kilometer. That is what we have learned from the diagram. So learners, if you want to find out how many smaller units make a bigger unit, the only thing you need to do is to get the product of the tens between the units. The product of the tens between the units. For example, if you want to find out, here, how many millimeters make 1 decimeter? How many millimeters make 1 decimeter? You get the product of the tens between the two. We are talking of here millimeters and decimeters. How many millimeters make 1 decimeter? So you simply get the product of the tens between the units. So between millimeters and decimeters, we have 2 tens. So we get the product. The product simply means 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 is equal to 100 millimeters. So in this case, 100 millimeters is equal to 1 decimeter. So if you want to know how many millimeters make 1 kilometer, or let me do meter first. How many millimeters make 1 meter? We are talking of millimeters, 1 meter. So we multiply, we get the product. We are going to get the product of the tens between the two. Between the two, we have millimeters and meters. Millimeters and meters. So we have 10 times 10, this 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So 1000 millimeters make 1 meter. 1000 millimeters make 1 meter. So we can try another set of measures. How many centimeters make 1 meter? How many centimeters make 1 meter? So we are going to get the product of the tens between the two. So we have converting centimeters to meters. Converting centimeters to meters, we get the tens, the product of the tens between the two. Between centimeters and meters, we have 2 tens. So 10 times 10 being equal to 100. So 100 centimeters will give you 1 meter. 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. So to convert a smaller unit to a larger unit, you simply use this diagram. Check between the units. How many tens are between the units? Then you multiply the tens. Multiply the tens means getting the product of the tens between the units. So that is how to determine the to convert from a smaller unit to a larger unit. If you want to find out how many decameters make 1 kilometer, decameter and kilometer, between these two, there are 2 tens. Between these two measures, between these two units, there are 2 tens. So we multiply 10 by 10, which means 100 decameters will give you 1 kilometer. So 10 times 10, 100 decameters is equal to 1 kilometer. Coming here, how many meters make 1 kilometer? Meter to kilometer. Convert meters to kilometers. Convert meters to kilometers. So you count the number of tens. 1, 2, 3. 3 tens. 1, 2, 3. So 10 times 10 times 10 is equal to 1,000. Meaning 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. That is when converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you get the product of the tens between the units. And converting the units from the larger unit to the smaller unit, we reverse. We are going to divide. Okay? If you are to convert from using just this example, you want to convert, to find the conversion, kilometers to meters. Kilometer is a larger unit compared to meter. So how many kilometers make 1 meter? So we are saying here, we reverse. Instead of getting the product, here we are going to divide. Instead of multiplying, we are going to divide. So from kilometers to meters, kilometers to meters, kilometers to meters. So we'll have 10, 10, 10. So we'll have 1 over 1,000. We divide, okay, 1 divided by 1,000 kilometers is equal to 1 meter. Is equal to 1 meter. And say decameters to centimeters, or decameters to millimeters. Decameters to millimeters. How many tens are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we divide 1 over 10, 10, 10, 10. So these are 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 decameters is equal to 1 millimeter. So it's just the reverse. So candidates, I want us to apply what we have so far learned in converting units. Converting what? Converting the measures of length. Measures of length from one unit to another. Examples. Examples. Example number 1. Convert each of the following. Convert each of the following measures to centimeters. Each of the following measures to centimeters. The first one, A, we have 10 decimeters. B, 1.5 decimeters. 1.5 decimeters. Convert these two into centimeters. So we come to our table again. Decimeters to centimeters. Decimeters to centimeters. Decimeters to centimeters. All right? So we have 10 decimeters to convert. Let me write here answer. What is the answer? In answering part A, so learners, we come to our diagram. We want to convert 10 decimeters into centimeters. Decimeters into centimeters. Decimeter is a bigger unit compared to a centimeter. From this diagram you can see 10 centimeters make 1 decimeter. 10 centimeters make 1 decimeter. So 10 centimeters make 1 decimeter. That means 1 decimeter is equal to 10 centimeters. 1 decimeter is equal to 10 centimeters. Therefore, 10 decimeters will be equal to how many centimeters? That is the question. Convert each of the following measures to centimeters. So 10 decimeters will be equal to 10 over 1. We get the reciprocal here. 10 over 1. That is 10 decimeters over 1 decimeter times 10 centimeters. So this decimeter cancels out with this decimeter. Then we have 10 times 10 centimeters, giving us 100 centimeters. So learners, 10 decimeters is equal to 100 centimeters. Then part B, we are to convert 1.5 decimeters to centimeters. Decimeters to centimeters. So we begin with our statement. 1 decimeter is equal to 10 centimeters. Therefore, 1.5 decimeters. 1.5 decimeters will be equal to how many centimeters? So again, we take the reciprocal. The reciprocal of this one here will be 1.5 decimeters divided by 1 decimeter times 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters. So this decimeter will cancel with this decimeter. Then we are remaining here with the 1.5 times 10 centimeter, giving us 15. This is equal to 15 centimeters. 15 centimeters. So that is the conversion. We have converted the decimeters into centimeters. Let us have another example. We are going to take another example. Convert. We are now going to convert decimeters, or we can try decameters. Let's convert decameters to convert the following. Number 2, convert the following measures to decameters. The following measures to decameters. A, I have 10 millimeters. B, 70 centimeters. C, 18.2 meters. Convert these measures to decameters. Convert these measures to what? Decameters. So let's answer. Answer A, 10 millimeters to decameters. This is capital D. Capital D means decameters. Small d is decimeters. So coming to our table again, candidates, we want to convert from decameters to, we want to convert millimeters to decameters. Millimeters to decameters. How many millimeters? 10 millimeters to decameters. How many decameters are there in 10 millimeters? So millimeters to decameters. Decameter is a larger or bigger unit than millimeter. So we said earlier, when converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we get the product. So let us now see how to answer this question. We are talking of millimeters to decameters. Millimeters to decameters. So we check between these two, millimeters and decameters, how many tens are in between. So these are 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens. So we get the product of the tens. So we multiply 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. That will give us the number of units that make one, the number of millimeters that make 1 decameter. And that will be 0, 0, 0, 0. This is the product of 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. This would give us 10,000 millimeters make 1 decameter. 10,000 millimeters make 1 decameter. Therefore, how many millimeters, how many 10 millimeters will make the decameters? So again, we take the reciprocal, that is 10 millimeters divided by 10,000 millimeters times 1 decameter. So this millimeter cancels with these millimeters. Then we have this 0. We'll cancel out with this 0. Right? Then we have 1 over 1,000. 1 over 1,000. 1,000 times 1 decameter. Times 1 decameter. This is equal to 1 divided by 1000, which is equal to, we are going to move this one, the decimal point is there. We move it back how many times? 3 times. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have a 0 there, another 0 here. This is the decimal. So this will be equal to 0.001 decameters. So 10 millimeters will give you 0.001 decameters. 0.01 decameters. We can do the second one. We want to convert centimeters, 70 centimeters to decameters. 70 centimeters to decameters. Let's come to the table again. Centimeters to decameters. Centimeters to decameters. So we check how many tens are between centimeters and decameters. And these are 1, 2, 3 tens, which will give us 1,000 centimeters will be equal to 1 decameter. 1 decameter. But B will say 1,000 centimeters make 1 decameter. Therefore 70 centimeters. 70 centimeters will be equal to how many decameters? So reciprocal, 70 centimeters divided by 1,000 centimeters times 1 decameter. So this centimeter will cancel out with this centimeter. Then we have 70 divided by 1,000. The decimal point here, when you have it this way, 70 over 1,000. The decimal point is here. So we are moving it how many times? 3 times to the left. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we have a 0 there, and the decimal here. So the answer is 0.070 decameters. So 70 centimeters is equal to 0.07 decameters. 0.07 decameters. Then learners, we want to convert 18.2 meters to decameters. So we come to the table again. How many meters make a decameter? So we have between meter and decameter, there is 110, meaning 10 meters is equal to 1 decameters. 10 meters is equal to 1 decameter. Therefore 18.2 meters will be equal to the reciprocal 18.2 meters divided by 10 meters times 1 decameter. So this will be equal to, we move these ones, this will be equal to 1.82 decameters, because this meter cancels with that meter. So we are dividing 18.2 over 10 times decameter, and that is the answer. So candidates, we'll stop there for today. I want to give you an opportunity to go and do your own practice. In our today's lesson, we introduce the unit length, perimeter, and area. Today we focused on the length, and we say that length is a measure of distance between two ends of something. Is the measure of distance between two things. I gave example of length of a pen, the length of this ruler, the length of a book. I gave the length of a duster. It can be the length of this board from this point to this point, remember, I said again, it can be the length of this whiteboard. It can be my length, okay, length. It can be my length from the toe to my hair. What is the length? All right, that is a measure. And we said that the length is measured in meters. Length is measured in meters. And the other measures, such as the millimeters, the centimeters, and so on, are just conversions. Are conversions that can be obtained by multiplying meters by a factor. In this lesson, I've seen how that can be done. We saw a table showing the relationship between measures of length or units of length. There are many units of length. That is the millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter, decameter, hectometer, and the kilometer. Today, again, we went further and did some examples, 2 examples. I want to stop there. And before we close, I want you to go to the pupil's book and attempt exercise 59. Exercise 59. This is your exercise. Exercise 59. This will be your exercise. Exercise 59. Go and do exercise 59, question 1 to question 4. This is your exercise, the pupil's book. If you don't have this book, you can make sure you get a copy of this book so that you do the exercises. In case you'll have any question in exercise 59 that you are not able to solve, then below this video you can make a comment, write to us. We'll help you solve the questions here on the board. Thank you and bye-bye.